move is ethical. Let's speak to the law and human rights activist Tarang Chawla, who is in the Australian city of Melbourne for us now. Ethical or legal?
Exactly, Tim. Ethical or legal. There's a lot of concern here and abroad about those 9,000 displaced Australian citizens, stranded Aussies, they're being called on Twitter and social media, who want nothing more than to be able to return home.
Well, I mean, in terms of how unprecedented this is, we know about Fortress Australia, we know how rigorous the lockdowns have been. It does work. So do you have any sympathy for that in terms of, the impact these decisions make?
Certainly. I mean, I'm based here in Melbourne, Australia. We live with a relative degree of freedom. Masks are no longer mandatory for us to go to shopping centres. We have no imposed lockdowns. Recently, the Melbourne Cricket Ground was near capacity with 80,000 people watching a sporting game and no cases of community transmission. So certainly the rigorous efforts by respective state governments in Australia have been very helpful in curbing the spread of the virus. But that does not withstand the fact that when the United States, Italy, the UK, Spain, all of these nations were seeing such high case numbers, at no point was jail time or at no point was a fine in the vicinity of 66,000 Australian dollars even considered. So for Indian Australians such as myself, there is a perception that there is one rule for people of colour, another rule for people from predominantly white nations.
So just briefly, are you suggesting there's a racist element to this?
Well, certainly it's something that I've seen in the commentary online. It's certainly something that many South Asian Australians are expressing to me, and it's accompanied with a sense of disillusionment. I wrote on social media, on my Twitter last night, that I felt quite numb. I'd gone past the point of feeling angry to a sense of disappointment and numbness that the Australian government was actively considering this. If we look at the statistics, there are around 36,000 currently stranded Australians globally, of which 1/4, 9,000, are in India. So the numbers are not that staggering. It's actually more about whether or not Australia's hotel quarantine system can keep up. And that's the real crux of the issue that the Australian government is grappling with. And had we been more prepared here in Australia, we'd be in a better position not only to help our Asian neighbours in India, but to help those Australian citizens who remain stranded.
All right. OK. Tarang Chawla, thank you very much for joining us. Now,